Over the last several months, 116 retail fuel delivery and HVAC service companies shared how they are leveraging technology to navigate today's market. And this benchmarking report reveals not only the opinions of these companies, but rather show measurable patterns on where these companies are investing, struggling, and are planning to move ahead in 2026. And here are the biggest takeaways. Number 1, volatility is defining operational challenge. There were many different answers when we asked these companies about where do their top company operational pressures come from. But the single most common answer, which were cited by over 14% of the survey respondents, was still inaccurate forecasting and unpredictable customer demands, which was caused by weather fluctuations. Now that number matters because in an industry that is built by seasonal consumption, even a small forecasting error can cause severe routing inefficiencies, emergency delivery. And the best performing companies, they're shifting from simply doing reactive delivery planning to predictive delivery operations. And what that means is that these companies are using the variety of the tools that they have on their disposals, including the weather forecasting, analyzing of historical data, using the tank monitoring data that they have on the field, as well as using automated scheduling rules that the system allow them to have. And the goal is not to be perfect in their forecasting, because we all know that's impossible. Rather, you want to minimize as much as you can these unplanned emergency deliveries, as well as increasing your drop density. Basically, you want to deliver more gallons with less miles. Number 2, capital investment is targeting fleet efficiency. Looking ahead to 2026, 66% of our survey respondents, a huge majority of them, are saying that they are planning to either upgrade or replace their delivery or service vehicles. And that signals something really important, that these companies are not just content being where they are, but rather they are aggressively planning to grow and be more reliable. Either that or they just like having new toys to play with. However, the survey also shows a gap, because even though many organizations were planning to upgrade their equipment and their trucks and their vehicles, they are not planning to change how they deploy these vehicles. You see, modernizing your fleet will not bring a maximum return on investment if you do not also change how you deploy them. A newer truck can lower the risk of breakdown, yes, but a smarter routing system and a better operational efficiency will lower costs per drop. And combining both is how the best companies can be most successful in 2026. Number 3, AI adoption do exist, but mostly in marketing. Over 41% of our responders says they are using AI in some form, but mostly they are applying it only in marketing content creation, writing emails, social media blog posts. Now, this is a useful way to use AI, but clearly our industry is longing, craving for something more, a better way to use it. Some of the usage that the industry is still longing for is predicting customer runout, identifying who are your biggest churn risks, recommending service work automatically, optimizing the technician scheduling, improving the delivery density, and giving suggestions on how a route can be improved. And this is where the gaps still exist. Basically, tech companies are waiting for more mainstream AI technologies to be made available that allows them to move AI from simply creating content into more into the operational efficiency side of things. And when that comes, companies will need to be ready to take advantage of it in order to gain competitive advantage. Number 4, consolidation is still happening. Our survey results shows that consolidation activity are still very much happening. About 22% says they plan to acquire another company, and the other 4% are still considering to sell their company. So in total, over a quarter of our survey respondents are actively either considering to sell or buy. And technology maturity are playing an increasingly more important role for companies to be able to do this successfully. Because whether you are buying or you are selling, you need to have clean data architecture and integrated systems. So having those two things greatly increase the value of your company. Number 5, data volume is rising, but decision clarity is not. Across our survey respondents, one pattern clearly emerges. We have more data than we know what to do with. Yet many companies still struggle to turn those data into something that is meaningful, that is actionable, that is impactful. I mean, you got delivery history, tank monitoring, service records, you got price logs, routing metrics, customer communications data. This information exists, but what do we do with them? In many organizations, it either lives in separate systems, it has inconsistent formats, or reports that are disconnected. This reminds us that simply having data does not equal having operational intelligence. Dashboards alone, they do not create clarity. Reports do not produce action automatically. The next competitive advantage will come from companies that do not simply collect more and more data, but rather put the effort into turning these massive amount of information into decision-ready intelligence. Companies that can treat data as a strategic asset, not just byproduct of transactions and systems, those are companies that can make faster decisions, optimize their margins even more, and scale more confidently. In conclusion, our industry is not standing still. It continues to evolve, albeit unevenly. This benchmarking report shows where your company stands and where opportunity still exists.